tonight we're here with a couple of guys from Illusion of Fate, Kevin, Hayden. Thank you both for taking time out of your night after being exhausted from work and all the sex of the rock stars and all that good shit. Uh, Appreciate you coming to chat with me. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing
Good,
all right.
doing good. Glad I got the day off tomorrow, so I'm
Hell,
pretty stoked.
hell yeah.
Hanging in there. Woke up to snow, so that was
Uh,
fun.
yeah, dude, I woke up and I was just like, nope, going back to bed. I'm not doing this today.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, it
So,
was I was running around a t-shirt today.
Nice. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
so
Very.
jealous right now,
It was
man.
it was nice. Talking to a buddy of mine in Michigan, he was like, it snowed here today." I'm like, "Yep, not here, dude.
Yeah.
Sun shining, it's fucking beautiful."
Damn,
Um,
envious.
okay. So Illusion of Fate,
Yep.
killer black metal band. I know you guys getting ready to go on a little small run. Um, are you currently recording? Is that right?
So we,
We're actually done with
nice.
uh with our first full-length album. We've had two EPs before this and a handful of singles, but the first full length we were finished recording and I think everything was mixed and mastered in what, maybe like September last year or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
would say September is when we finish it. We've just been kind of sitting on it, planning out our release and everything, and trying to just be as impactful as we can with it. Because this is our debut, and this is really
Yeah.
our best material we've come out with, and we're really trying to make as big of a splash as we can. So we've just been kind of sitting on it and trying to plan things out. So,
Smart.
um, so yeah, so yeah,
So is Visions of a Sunless Sky on that?
yes,
It's
yep,
uh
Yeah, that is correct.
that is such a good fucking song.
Thank you. I think
oh,
collectively that's
thank you,
probably all of our favorites.
Right on.
yeah.
Yeah, like I literally was like going through, running around today, going through all of your work, and that one hit, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta listen to that again." And
Thank you.
literally,
Yeah,
that
Thank
when
you.
you got on, I was listening to it again. I was like, "God, it's
nice.
just such a good fucking song."
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I think that was the first song that like lyrically I wrote that had like a hook in it. So I'm like, all right, we got to make it big.
Yeah.
Got to make it big. It got to sound huge.
Hell yeah.
Seems
But
to be the crowd favorite too. Like
Yeah.
when we play it, we've been kind of playing that song the last couple shows we've played, and that seems to be a crowd favorite. That and
hell yeah.
Realm Seeker. Realm Seeker is another one people love.
That's a good
But
one. Also, fuck yeah.
thank you. So it seems like so far all the new material is going over really well. So that's
I
that's
mean, we
exactly
still got what, seven more tracks to
yes.
drop. So hopefully we
Hopefully
impress.
the rest.
So, are you guys doing it just dropping each one as like as its own single, and then when one they all get released, gonna release like a full album?
No, it's we have a couple plans for like the near future. We're getting ready to drop one more single like soon. And then after that it's just going to be a push and then the whole album. We picked the I think four probably the best songs that we had, and we were like, these were the ones that we want to present to everybody before they dig into the album and see, or at least be able to hear what it's supposed to sound like as a whole,
Yep.
because it really does. Like, you can pick out individual songs and they all sound good, but as a whole the album really has something to stand on.
Hell yeah. That's that's
Yep.
cool. Now I'm getting a little excited over here, like,
Oh, it's good.
ooh,
We
Thank
hope
you.
you like it.
Yeah.
hell yeah. Well, so far I do. I dig the sound. I dig the band. I think obviously I like Austin as a drummer. I think he's a great fucking drummer. And you
Oh
guys,
yeah.
He's,
collectively, the sound is pretty damn phenomenal.
Thank you.
thank you so much, dude. And
that's
we really
uh
appreciate that. Really, really appreciate it.
that's
It
that's
means a
all
lot.
Hayden. He does all of our like recording and mixing and mastering and production and stuff like that. And yeah, we try to. I think at the start it was we were too broke to really afford like studio time or anything big like that, and then eventually it became uh let's just keep it all in house so we're as close to it as possible and like really getting to nitpick down to like the fine details of what we want to put out rather than having to search and like trust it in somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
So
Well, and you know, I don't know how old you guys are. I'm a little bit older, and in my day, you could go get a little 4-track cassette for, recorder for a couple $100, and now everything's so digital. It's literally at your fingertips. You
oh
can
yeah.
get free recording shit,
Oh yeah.
and you can have it sound however the hell you want it, which is,
Mhm.
mind-boggling.
And the funny part about it, like everything kind of being digital too, and Hayden can probably tell you better about the actual process of it all. But like with everything being digital, including like amp software, we still wound up miking up cabs and all that, and kind of just taking like aspects of both like the modern sound and the old school way of doing things, and just trying to make the best out of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really I really try to focus on blending the two. Capturing the best of what I could get with the cabs, and then capturing it, and then combining that with the amp modelers that we use. The VSTs and all that I have, and just really trying to round out the sound. And I mean, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So, and I think that's how we're going to keep doing that. I'm going to start for our next album. I'm going to look into building some cabs for it, and trying out more and more different kinds of speakers, and just really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Really kind of expand upon that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Find something that works and then really, attack it, make it see how
exactly,
good you can make it, right?
exactly, exactly.
The biggest
So,
thing for us is like creating a sound that's like kind of timeless. Like we're trying to go for something that's not like we don't want to follow a trend, but we want to like take the good aspects of trends and use that, and then also like inject our own into it and just create something that like stands up. It doesn't have to be like the top notch, like pop star sounding recording to be something that doesn't age.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think the fact that we didn't time align everything, not everything's like to the grid, whereas a lot of bands tend to do that nowadays and rely a little bit heavily on that. We kind of went with, I mean, we went more with the human element. We kind of tried to avoid doing that. And I mean, granted, obviously, when we track as close as we can to the grid. Stay right on time and everything. But um, we didn't really go through and timeline stuff. We didn't match things up to a grid and all that. We tried to keep that human element to it as possible. And I think that's an integral part. And in making an album stand out, especially in today's market. I think that having that element that listeners can relate to, because I don't know, for me, hearing that human element, it kind of makes it stick more. I mean,
Mhm.
you look at some of the classic bands, and some of their early albums, everyone from Death to Cradle of Filth, or whoever, they're not playing to a grid. They're just like, all right, 1, 2, 3, let's go, and that's it. So, and all those bands have timeless songs, and they've stood the test of time, because of that.
So
So,
I've got a crazy opinion. We look at bands that are timeless, right? And
mhm,
I'm gonna go a long time ago, like Black Sabbath.
even then,
All
yep.
their all of their riffs are absolutely timeless. You play them today and it's like, oh fuck, man, that is still so good.
Yeah.
It is when you first
Everybody knows them too, which is
Yeah.
yeah,
like even non-metalheads. Like if you can get non-metalheads to be like, that's like War Pigs or that's Iron Man. That's a pretty good riff, you know.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
We did a cover of Iron Man actually a while back, like when the band first started. COVID hit, and we got somebody reached out to us to do a cover of Iron Man for this like big compilation for Black Sabbath. That
Hell
one's
yeah.
floating around somewhere.
somewhere.
Right
We'll have to
on.
officially release that at some
All
point.
right. So I'm gonna ask you guys just on Sabbath real quick, Dio or Ozzy?
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
I love Dio, but I like Dio as Dio.
Yeah, same. Sorry.
No, don't be so I prefer Ozzy era Sabbath. The only reason I ask is I was talking to Murphy from Blessed Black about he actually prefers Dio era Sabbath, and I'm like, okay, that's a little strange. I've only recently, like 5 or 6 years, started getting into Dio era Sabbath, and I'm still like, it's not Ozzy, but I enjoy Dio and I can
Yeah,
appreciate the songs and what
Well,
have
yeah,
you.
Dio's
Dio's
great. He's a
fine.
legend for a reason.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Exactly.
Okay. So uh through like 23, obviously you guys recorded, mixed and mastered the new album. You're putting your plan together. Um, what what kind of touring did you do, or what kind of plan did you really put together for this year so you could just hammer it down and like take over the world?
Well, 20 we started off 23 with our first tour like ever out on the road, like more than like 2 days. And that was with Casket Robbery. As you know, we share a drummer and a bassist with
Yep.
Casket Robbery. Uh Going out with them was like a huge learning experience for all of us because it was like I without like really engaging, we kind of just got to see like how people who have done this before do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think going into this year, we had a concrete, like a really solid plan for album release. And then we got asked to play Milwaukee Metal Fest, which kind of changed things,
Yeah.
which like in for obviously for like the best reason possible. It
Right.
changed things. So we like pushed the album release date back, which May 10th album's coming out. But
Just make it May 13th.
yeah, yeah, we want to give people a whole week to ruminate on that before we go to Milwaukee Metal Fest and actually start playing the stuff. And it did change the way that we had to like route touring stuff because like we didn't want it to conflict with us playing Milwaukee Metal Fest at all. But I think we had a better understanding of like what our goals were this time around. So like one of our biggest thing is to get the hell out of Wisconsin. We love Wisconsin. We love the local scene. All of our friends are here. Uh, but it was like the next logical step to really just take it on the road and go like regional at very least and
Yeah.
just see how far we can get. So we
Yep.
already kind of had our sights set on like multiple days driving kind of deal, extended trips, and at very least, because of the gap between Austin and us, because we're in Milwaukee, he's in Detroit. That's a 6 hour drive, and that is a long drive on the way back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like regardless of the direction. So it's like we wanted to make sure it was worth whoever's time, and then make it make sense for the band to be able to like not prove legitimacy, but just show like, hey, we're not slowing down. Like we're gonna keep going. Like we're gonna take this as far as we can, you
Hell
know.
yeah.
So that was kind of our like big jumping point was all right, let's get out. Let's see what other states have to offer.
Yep. So
There's
that's
some
kind of
there's some pretty good fucking scenes out there.
Oh
oh
yeah. We've come across a few. When we played Sandusky, Ohio, we played I think it was Halo Live.
yep.
We didn't know how that was gonna go because, like, truth be told, like the only experience I have with Sandusky, Ohio, is like
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point and Tommy Boy references.
Yep.
You know, so when we showed up, we didn't know what to expect, and it was like a pretty good turnout. The venue was really cool, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think another one that surprised me was up in Minneapolis. I was kind of surprised. Like we had a pretty solid turnout that night for a blizzard, and Grand Rapids. Speaking of blizzards, when we played Grand Rapids back in January, there was quite a turnout, and that show went off. That was a really fun show. That was a really good show.
Yeah, that was
Is
And
that
another one we didn't know what to expect because like it had snowed that whole weekend, and then we get to the venue and it was a lot bigger than like we imagined. Because
yep,
like originally we thought we were just playing like a bar, but there's like a whole separate room, and then we get out on stage and there's a bunch of people in the crowd despite a blizzard happening at that moment. It was literally just downpouring snow at that moment.
yeah,
So
but people from the north are different, dude. If it
yeah,
snows, it doesn't matter.
for
We're still
sure.
going to a show.
Oh, for sure. For
that's
sure.
Now, was
I
that show in Grand Rapids, was that with Nethergate?
No,
no,
that was
I was in
it was
Detroit.
with uh Black Temple and
Oh, Flood the
Flood the
Desert.
Desert.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a cool show. Um, yeah,
Mulligan's great venue.
Mulligans. Yeah, my goal next is to get us down south. You know, everyone I've talked to says hitting up Texas and all that. The shows down there get pretty fucking wild, and
Out of this world, yeah.
um, yeah, and then I got some friends down there that I know would love to play a show with us, and so I'm hoping maybe end of this year, next year we can make our way down that way. We're kind of trying to feel that out right now, so
Sure. Yeah, that's
hopefully
good.
this. But
That's a long drive. You guys need some vacation time to make that happen.
yeah, 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 yeah,
That's where all my PTO goes.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm lucky. My work doesn't really do that. They're just like, you're in a band. I get it. Just don't be an ass about it. Like, okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
that's cool.
Just don't take off like months at a time. Like, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So, if you guys go to Texas, try to hook up with Flesh Hoarder. And
Flush
ju-
order, but
Name. I feel like Brian and Austin may have mentioned them because that name sounds familiar.
probably.
That
uh,
sounds like
they're they're just like they're a really killer like Texas. They're just death metal band.
oh man, Texas. Y'all got some great metal down there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I got
Uh,
that written down.
hell yeah. So
Hell yeah.
speaking of like traveling and playing, you guys have a couple of little runs coming up in just a couple of weeks, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
We're going
One
out with
weekend we're going out on the what I named the Barbecue Pit of Hell tour. It's a mini tour with our friends in Pit Lord from Iowa. If you are unfamiliar with Pit Lord, it's a barbecue themed death metal band. A two-piece bassist and guitarist. Both I think both of them do vocals, and they wheel a grill out on stage, and that's their drummer. So we're going to be going out
so cool.
west of Wisconsin the first weekend, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was
The first
one
weekend.
weekend we're going west of Wisconsin where it's Minneapolis or St. Paul rather. St.
Yeah.
Paul, Nebraska, and then Iowa. And
Yeah.
then the next weekend we're going out with our really good friends in Yotuma. Uh if you haven't heard of Yotuma, you're missing out. You got to check them out. They're so good.
Yeah.
Such a groovy just death metal band.
Austin turned me on to them, so I was checking them out too.
They're
Because
sick. We played their very first show and just kind of seeing how they've grown. Like they're really just you got to watch out for
We're
them.
really good
They're
friends of
going to
ours.
be one of those bands. They're going to make it, I swear.
Oh yeah, they will.
everyone can make it if they really put their heart into it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is very
That's
true.
they're one of the hardest working bands you'll ever see. Their first year of ever playing live, I think they ended up playing like 52 shows or something like that. It was just like a nonstop grind for them.
Hell yeah.
Respect it, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, that'll be cool. That'll be fun. I'll see that Indianapolis on Austin's birthday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, nice.
Right. That's on
Oh, see you there.
birthday.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, snap. Can't wait to meet you in person. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that one's at Black Circle, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that little fest, I
Heard,
believe.
heard a lot of good. Yeah, it's a festival. I've heard a lot of good things about that venue. I'm really excited to play it.
Yeah, Black Circle's pretty cool. It's like it's a brewery.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that's cool. All
Yeah.
Game
right,
on.
get it.
Game on.
He
Game
said game
on.
on.
Dude,
Speaking of
that'll be
brewery,
2 weekends of birthdays because Austin's birthday is that weekend and my 31st birthday is the weekend before.
Yeah,
oh shit.
everyone in the band except for me is all born within like a week of each other in
Yeah.
March.
Damn.
My birthday's January 22nd. They're all like the first week of March.
Damn. No way.
Yeah,
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 it was meant to be.
It'll be
yeah. I mean, what you, Kevin, you and Brian were even born in the same hospital.
Yeah, 4 days apart.
Man,
they were
you didn't
passing
know.
each other.
It
One's
was
coming
meant to
out of the
be.
vagina, the other's going out the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
were trading tapes in
Like, dude,
the nursery.
you want to start a black and death metal band when we're in our late 20s?
Yeah, when we're 30.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'll
We'll
get a
meet
hold
again someday.
later. All right.
Get on
Yeah,
that.
Here's
call me.
here's my email. Here's my
Yeah.
Twitter.
God, to think we were born before Twitter. Whew.
Oh gosh.
Think I was born before the internet. I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
Like
Oh
I'm over
man.
here pushing 50 like Jesus. If I don't want to
Where's
get in a pit, I'll break a fucking hip.
I'm already there at this point, man. I got into one mosh pit and hurt my knee, and I'm like, man, I'm really gonna have to call it quits. Wow,
Yeah. The
still
last
not right.
the last pit I got in, well, the last good pit I got in, I had to have surgery on my shoulder.
oof.
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 Yeah.
Oof. Was it at least a good pet?
Oh, it
Or
was a
what you said was a good pet, but like was it like one to go out
Worth
on?
it. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
nice.
It
Who
was
was
one to
it?
go out. Well, it was some local bands,
Nice.
Nice.
but the show, so like our scene here is fucking wild, dude.
Bet.
Um, we've one of the venues headliners, it holds about 700 people, and
Wow.
we've probably got 4 or 5 locals that will pack that place.
Nice. That's
Uh,
crazy.
That's awesome.
we did my buddy of mine's got a record label. He put out a 7-inch from a couple of bands, and that show when they did the 7-inch release party sold out in like 30 minutes, dude.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
is cool. That's
So
really cool. Who are the bands? I'm gonna look them up.
like Stonecutters, they're like a sludge death thrash kind of thing. Bat Wizard, which is like a doom. I don't even know how to explain them. They're just really fucking good.
Mhm.
Um, Volcandra.
Oh,
We
yeah,
we know Volcandra, yeah.
yeah. Brian and Austin, I know they've played with them. We definitely want to perform with them.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're
Yeah.
really.
I their new album's coming out on Prosthetic, I think.
Nice.
I listened to one of the singles and I was like, damn, this shit's good.
Yeah. Um,
How do we link up with them? This is good stuff, man.
uh,
Quality.
I'm talking with one of the guys tomorrow night, as a matter of fact.
Ooh, name drop us.
Yeah.
Oh, we're huge fans. Yeah,
Yeah, they're good dudes.
I've heard. I've heard they're really
But
cool.
realistically, I mean, you look at some of the bands that have come out of, I'm going to say the Louisville area, but just Kentucky as a whole, right? Like Knock Loose is, blowing
Oh, they're
up.
Yep,
huge.
Kentucky.
Gates to
Right.
Hell, uh, like Ulm is really good. They don't, so I don't think Ulm gets out and does anything, but dude, my opinion, probably the best local band that we have. They are
Nice.
fucking phenomenal.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I'm actually just like with the whole knocked loose thing, like I never thought in my life, and I'm not like a Knocked Loose fan, so if I misspeak on the genre, I'm sorry, but I never in my life thought I'd ever see like a hardcore band play arenas.
Didn't they play like Lollapalooza or something?
Something like that. It was I just saw a video of a huge crowd and I'm like, I never in my life thought like a
Yeah, I think
hardcore, like
that's
a
what it
beatdown
was.
band.
And like Billie Eilish was jamming to him side stage. I was like,
That's
I
wild.
that, and I was like, whoa, that's cool.
That's
That's
so
really
wild.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
well, so like back in the 90s, hardcore got pretty big too. Like Sick of It All. I remember reading stories about Sick of It All, like especially going through like Minneapolis and Wisconsin
Yeah,
and have you. And it started where they were 50 or 100 people, and then they were doing 3,000 and 4,000 seat venues, which is like
that's insane.
to do, and they did it on their own, right? It wasn't like they had this huge corporation behind pushing them. Like they were out there hustling, doing the thing, which is it's,
mad respect.
it's what I preach to like all the bands is like, everyone says, well, I want to get signed and do these things. It's like, well, just go out and do it, right? Because first, if you go out and you do it yourself and you put your own money into it, you get all that money back, right? You're not paying Joe to go tell the radio stations about your new song that they're likely not going to play anyway, right? You're
Yeah,
building a solid grassroots following, which is
I think number one.
Volumes. And
well,
that those
I'm
are fans that will stay with you forever.
for sure. I'm the old guy, right? So I always say, Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax, all of those bands built, grassroots following. Same with Death and Cannibal Corpse and,
Oh yeah,
about any other band you can think of that came up in the 70s, 80s, 90s. They built their following without a bunch of label support. And then when the labels came to them, it was like they were in uh, a little a better position to negotiate what that contract
Always
looks like.
always heard people say, "Let the music industry come to you.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the
Let
truth.
them come to you."
Like the doesn't matter what kind of music you play, there's always a crowd for it,
I
Oh, of
agree.
course.
I
you
agree.
know.
There's always
So
a crowd. It's just finding that.
for sure.
I kind of go when we like play live. I'll go into it, and then I take like this mindset a lot of the time is full well knowing when we play a venue, there's a good chance that everybody out there is not going to know who we are, nor maybe like us just based on like appearance. Cause like the whole corpse paint costume kind of thing, it can be a little off putting for some people, they're like, oh, what's that? Like, I don't know if I like all that. But, the, when I get up on stage, like I'm always thinking like, I'm gonna make these people like us after this. That's like my goal. I really want to make these people like us, or at very least remember us.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'd say you do a good job at that every night.
I
I'd say
bully the crowd a little bit.
I like to think we do. Not to sit here and
Yeah,
toot our own horns. I like to think we do. I like to think that we really put on the best show we can, and we're constantly trying to improve that. Put on a better and better show every time, and we're always talking about, all right, what can we do differently for this show, for that show. I mean, I know we've got a few ideas floating around for what we want to do for Milwaukee Metal Fest. Um, you know, so you know, I always think that's interesting. Like, there's definitely some bands that I don't think focus as much as they could on the live show. You know, and I'm sure we've all seen those bands. Where it's like where they're just standing there looking at their instruments and like, yeah, that's cool. Like you can play that, but come on, we paid for a performance. We want to see something. You know,
So I'm
that's
I'm gonna
kind of how I look at it.
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate, right? Because like this is where we start talking about super technical bands versus,
Right, and I definitely get
you
that.
know,
Like, I mean, at a jazz show, you're not going to expect to see people jumping around. Like, yeah, you expect them to be sitting there reading off their charts or just focusing on their instruments. Yeah, and yeah, tech death. Yeah, tech death. I definitely get that, but um, there's definitely those tech death bands that just stand there, and then there's some that will move around. I mean, I do definitely I hear you. I hear you.
you know.
I definitely do hear you on
And
that one.
I say that from a guy who I can barely play my instrument. You know what I mean? Like I could strum it a
Valid.
little bit. So
I think at the end of the day, it's just like I when I see bands play, I want to know if they like their own music or not. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of tell based on a performance if they're just not into it. Where it's like, I appreciate your musicianship for sure, but it's like, why? Maybe change it up a little bit if because it
Yeah,
just doesn't seem like it's exciting to you anymore. Every time we play our songs, it's just exciting to be able to play them. Where it's like, oh, bet I remember this feeling.
yeah.
so
Well, and
so
I wasn't trying to say like any band that just sits there and stares at their guitars the whole show is bad by any means. I'm not. I'm not.
no,
I'm not.
right.
I'm not trying to talk down on anyone. Never,
Now
never trying to do that.
so I think when a band writes a song that they really like, or writes music that they really like, you can tell when they get up on stage and play it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
know,
Oh,
electric.
yeah, it totally comes off, and that's where you get that energy between the crowd and the band,
I agree.
Yeah,
I
you know.
wholeheartedly agree.
So, okay. Um, how did Austin come to be in the band?
that's all
Man,
Hayden on that one.
I remember sharing um, our first EP on a Facebook group, Tech Death Fans United, and I remember sharing it on there, and he commented on it, and so him and I just kind of just got to talking. I shared my band, he shared his band, which at the time was Pyrrhic, and
Okay.
I still listen to that album because I thought it was so cool. And so we just kind of kept talking, and I kept asking him like, um, sorry about that. I kept asking him like,
He's
dude,
watching porn while we're having an interview. What the hell's going on over here?
That's
no,
just an average illusion of fate night. We play
yeah,
black metal.
I mean,
There's
God,
a
if you're
lot
not
of
video interview and watching porn at the same time, are you really living?
Right?
it's just a lot of embarrassing ourselves. Really, it's like a curse. We put the corpse paint on, and then after that, it was just all downhill.
Hell yeah.
Just nosedive. Yeah, so we started talking, and and he was really invested in his projects, and I get that. Okay. I've got this little side project I'm just kind of playing around with. It's called Dusk Eternal. And can you do some drums for it? And he said sure, and so we were working together on that. And I'm pretty sure his band Pyrrhic kind of fell apart not too long after that. I don't know what happened. You'd have to ask him. But all I know is that kind of fizzled out, and I kept on and I kept asking him like, dude, you want to come on out? Come on out. You're so good. You're so freaking good. And I know we could make something really cool together. And so finally he agreed. And then I remember we met up, and that first time we practiced, I was like, holy shit. These songs have never sounded better. B, you're like the best damn drummer I've ever met. Um, C, like, dude, you just added like a whole new dimension to our songs. And like, I just opened up the creative floodgates because after that, I remember after that, I kind of started writing more and more for songs that would end up being on this album that we're releasing. And, I was like, I didn't feel like I had to adhere to any creative boundaries or anything. And, you know, and everything he did was perfect to it. Like I have a couple ideas, and then he'd come along and he'd be like, "Well, let's change it from this to this," and I'd be like, "Dude, that's I wasn't even thinking that, but that sounds way better than what I was thinking. That sounds awesome." So yeah, that's now I'm kind of just going on a tangent, but yeah, that's more or
That's
less
all right.
how he got started with the band.
So he was telling the story of when he loaded the drums in the car and took the first trip out to
Yep.
come play. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, man, I hope they're not fucking weird, and
Yeah.
I hope we
Yeah.
get along all
Jokes
right.
on him. We are weird.
Yeah, but like I remember when we were all hanging out, it was literally like we had known each other like our whole lives.
Yeah, he's
Like
just one of the bros.
doing this
Oh yeah.
shit, like we're like, dude, I feel like I've known you my whole life. Like this is weird.
That
Like
first rehearsal was really great too.
yeah,
That
yeah,
first rehearsal, because like I think we played through maybe 3 times through our current or well that set list at the time, which I we had a song that's 3 parts and is about 12 minutes and it's just constant. Like it takes little interludes, but there's always some kind of music playing. So like we knew
yeah,
that was like a daunting
absolutely.
task and we had never rehearsed together. And then like it was like 3 times through and we were just locked in and we knew that
Yeah, we
this
we
is
all
the guy.
locked together like that. Like it was first song, like it locked, and I was like, damn, what do I have to do to get you to join this band?
Yeah.
And we're lucky that he loves the music just as much, and like you know this is like his passion project too. This is just as much his band as it is our band. So
Well, I think
very
like
lucky.
like everyone, Austin just wants to get out there and play.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah. He just
oh
wants
yeah,
to hit some skins.
hell yeah,
Hit some skins.
Yeah.
Giggity
oh,
giggity.
giggity.
Yeah. We're in a metal band. There's a lot of that too.
There's a lot of that. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Our
yeah.
girlfriends and fiancés and wives don't like us as much as they say they do.
Uh, I don't know. They're still with you.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know. I think mine is just waiting for us to get big, but joke's on her. We're in a black metal band.
That's funny. Mine's waiting for me to die to collect insurance that I don't have.
We are all incredibly fortunate to have supportive, significant others because this wouldn't work if that was the case or if
Yeah,
that
That's
wasn't the case.
no, that's the truth. I think
Yeah.
that's
having
that's
the
huge.
having that right person behind you will help you get to whatever that next level of success is.
Oh,
Oh
Right.
yeah,
yeah.
Um, that that
100%.
yeah, that support means a ton. So with the new album, you guys are self-releasing it, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Um,
the
physical copies, are you doing vinyl, CD?
As of right now, we're gonna do CDs. I'm waiting to announce the CD pre-order. We have our digital pre-orders up and some merch pre-orders for the album up, but we're kind of just trickling those in as the funds come in too, because I want to make sure that I'm making good on everybody's order. So I can't. It's like phases of like, all right, here's the first big thing. I know we can afford this, and we can put them out for pre-orders to help fund the other stuff then too, which helps because we have. I do all of our like merch, not the actual printing, but I do like all of the design work.
Mhm.
So it's just finding creative ways to fund all of these really cool ideas we have because t-shirts have gone up a lot since COVID, like almost 3 times as much. So it's difficult to like try to source good quality stuff. But yeah, we're doing CDs as well. After that, I mean, I'd like to get vinyls pressed. That's another one that's really expensive. So we'll see
I
what
guess we
the
have to
future
we have to
holds.
demand is for that, and if we get enough people asking for vinyls, then we'll definitely consider that.
Yeah.
I agree. I would definitely like to get vinyls too. It's literally just that they're expensive to make.
Yeah. Well, and I think with vinyl, like what what most everyone appears to be doing right now is they do small runs of a very specific
Color.
variant,
Yep.
Oh
right?
yeah.
And then, oh, that one's sold out. Oh yeah, we'll do pressing number 2, which is now
Yep.
this variant. And people are like, oh shit, now I got to go buy that. Like I'm looking at my record now. I don't even know. I probably 1,000 over there. And out of those, half of them are doubles of this, at least doubles of the
Oh
same
yeah,
album.
you're like, oh, that's a sick color. I gotta
Yeah.
listen to this in like slime green.
I
Yeah.
hear you that it's
It's addicting.
it's
It's
a
awesome.
it's a problem. As I understand that. I have 3 copies of the Blow Your Trumpets Gabriel single vinyl release in all 3 colors
Yeah.
just because I wanted to have them all. And I'm like, this I'm not even listening to them right now. Like my record player's not even plugged in right now, you know?
Yeah. My record player just broke, well, probably like 3 weeks
Ooh,
ago. And I'm like, shit, I got to get a new one.
yeah. I'm glad that they still make like good quality turntables because like I mean, trying to find needle cartridges was a pain for a little while when I was like growing up and then like a teenager.
Yeah.
CDs was like the big rage. Vinyl like recently just started to make that little bit of a renaissance for collectors at very least.
Yeah.
I
Probably the
just
last 10 years or so.
Moonlight
Yeah.
Sorcery's new album on vinyl. I'm waiting for that to ship. That's
Dude.
such, they're so good. But, yeah.
So what bands are you guys listening to right now that you're like, ah, man, this is such a good fucking band?
Moonlight Sorcery. I love them so fucking much. I'm sorry. So much. I love them. Like I said, I finally pulled the trigger and bought like their third pressing vinyl because I missed the first one because I was buying a house. So I was way too broke. Um so yeah, that's one band I highly recommend checking out if you haven't. I really love Black Braid, another
Okay.
great band. I got them on vinyl as well. I love that band. They both of those bands have been kind of inspiring a lot of the new material I've been writing lately for album two. But um, yeah, those are 2 bands I would definitely recommend
Okay.
hitting if you haven't already checked them
I
out.
I haven't and I will.
Do it. Right.
Cap,
Do it. Do it.
do it.
Do it.
All
Do
right,
it.
I'm just gonna put it on right now.
Mm.
What about you, Kevin?
Honestly, I've just been listening to really dumb death metal, you know, just the really sludgy like Sanguisugabog, it's like these riffs slap stupid hard.
Hmm.
And they're so simple, but I love it. It's just chuggy. And then when I'm not trying to listen to metal, I'm like listening to like The Cure or Dinosaur Jr. or something like that, you know?
Okay.
Gotta take breaks from metal every now and then, otherwise I'm gonna end up just hating what I do.
Nah.
Uh,
No, but it's okay to like
it is.
other things
Oh yeah, of
also.
course.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
I
For
get
sure.
better inspiration from non-metal bands where it's like I'm like, oh, that's a cool little rhythm that he did with his voice. Maybe I could do something like that in metal, you know?
Man, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, writing a song, one of our songs, and then, I get stuck. I'm like, all right, let's put on some music, kind of maybe get the creative juices flowing. And I'll just put on something random and it'll be like a pop song or something, and that'll do it. It's not even a metal song. It'll just be like, oh, that was a cool little section,
Yeah.
and it'll just be back to firing on all cylinders.
So I've got a buddy that we'd go out to a lot of shows together,
Hmm.
and obviously we stay late, talk to the band, whatever. And when we'd head home, if he's driving, he'd always put pop music on. I'm like, why do you turn this shit on, dude? Like I can't I can't do this. Like I made sure to bring headphones. He goes, oh, I do it because it keeps my ass awake.
Yeah.
We're over here
That's
listening to
fair.
Britney at 2 in the morning, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That's fair. That's
Whenever I'm driving the van, I'm pretty confident that everybody else in the van hates me because I listen to like hip hop and stuff like
oh, oh,
non-metal stuff that nobody's gonna like. Just
the hip hop's like it's okay, here and there. It's the endless amounts of Limp Bizkit that you put
oh,
on.
that too. Yeah, I'm a big Limp
It's just
Bizkit
like, okay,
fan,
I've
proud Limp
heard
Bizkit
this
fan.
song how many times?
Listen, you can't help but bob your head when Nookie comes on. Like,
I mean,
let's be real. Like,
right, but like
my theory
I
is
don't want to
that
hear rolling for the 12th
The people that say they hate Limp Bizkit just haven't figured out that they like Limp Bizkit yet.
Or maybe they really do hate Limp Bizkit.
time.
Nah, that's not possible. That's not possible. Listen, Fred Durst, yeah, I'll admit, kind of a douche, but he's like one of those guys where it's like we keep him around because he's funny. And Wes Borland is awesome.
Dude,
He
Wes
is.
he's a madman.
He
Yeah,
is.
it's and I mean, especially like recently, like where now it's just they've crossed the threshold of absurdity where Fred Durst is coming out in a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I never thought I'd see this era. I'm excited that I get to experience it.
Well, he's got to constantly change it up because if he takes the hat off, he's bald.
Oh yeah,
He
I know.
doesn't.
he should go back to the dad vibes wig. That was great.
Yes. So we had some friends come in from Detroit for Louder Than Life last year,
Nice.
Nice.
and Limp Bizkit was playing, and I know you're a fan. You know, like if they're playing, I'm not gonna like fuck them, but I'm not gonna actively seek them out either.
I get it.
Um, so my buddies and their wives were like, "We're going up front for Limp Bizkit." One of my buddies is right now, I think he's 6'2" or 6'3", and he's probably 290. Right? He's
That's
a
a big
big dude.
boy.
Damn.
He's leading everyone, and someone in the crowd grabbed his leg and ripped his fucking shoe off while he's walking in it. Like,
What?
That's insane.
what the fuck, dude?
Wild.
That sounds
What?
like some Florida man activities.
Oh,
That
dude.
does.
Like, I'm sitting. We're over in the VIP, you know, because I'm old and I can't be with the rest of the.
Yeah,
Like, I
I
need
hear
my
you
little
there.
space. But he comes back and he's standing there and we're talking, and I look down. He's got one shoe on and missing the other one. I'm like, what in the fuck happened? And he tells me the story. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dude. Like, who grabs your leg, right? You're a big dude. I said, why didn't you kick him in the face? He goes, I didn't even think about that. Oh shit, dude.
He's just vibing, having a good time with Limp Bizkit.
Something, yeah.
Clearly.
Good old Fred was like, we're not gonna play anymore until you turn off these uh stage facing cameras. And they just went into this loop of the same thing until they turned the fucking cameras off.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, sucks for the people in the back.
Yeah.
That's
Um, so live shows, who are some of the best like live shows that you guys have seen?
Oof.
Oh, it's a big question.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
gotta say, I think one of my personal like favorite bands is Whitechapel. I still think like to this day, regardless of like what their sound is now, because I know their newer sound is not everybody's cup of tea. Uh, they have one of the best live performances with like the biggest sound that I've ever seen in like the metal realm specifically more than anything. Their sound is huge, and on top of that, they put on a really good show and make it look effortless.
Okay.
I might have to say, I would have to say probably either Behemoth or Children of Bodom. When I saw them when Bodom came to Milwaukee last, that was, I mean, at least for me, I love Bodom. So that was an experience. But Behemoth puts on one hell of a show. When I saw him twice. Um, Once in Chicago, and then another time on the Slayer farewell tour. I went down to Austin to see their last show before they played their last one back home. And dude, I gotta say, Behemoth almost stole that show too. Like they were so freaking good. Um, they put on one hell of a show. It's just it's kind of it's an experience.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't seen them, I highly recommend it.
Oh no, I've seen them. I'm in some of
Okay.
their I'm in some of their pictures on their Facebook page.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
nice.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Guar puts on a really good show too. I was a huge one. Again, one of like the first shows I went to was Guar with Odorous and I think Smoot was his last name. I can't. Their guitarist that passed away as well. Their shows are nuts. But I mean, that's like a whole different level of like a band where it's like performance first and then music.
Yeah.
Like they're an act, I'd say, like more than just a band.
Oh, they always have been. They've been
Yeah.
so theatrical, you know.
Yeah, which I think
Um,
is like a huge thing. I mean, anybody can get into that kind of thing then, where it's like I'm going to see this. I'm not. I could care less about the music. It's I
I've,
want
yeah.
to
I've
get
definitely
sprayed. You know?
talked to a few people that are like, I'm not the hugest fan of their music, but their shows are awesome.
Yeah. Their
Yep.
shows are. My mom took me to see Guar for the first time. I was a kid, and she was like, "You're just gonna go alone from now on. I'm never coming back."
So Belushi Speedball is playing Milwaukee Metal Fest. They also are a live show.
Nice.
So
I've seen like videos where they're like throwing chairs and stuff, but I'm like, is that a rowdy crowd or is that just a regular thing?
like, dude, they're fucking wild live.
Nice.
All right.
Sometimes they come up with just cases and cases of LaCroix and they're dumping them all over the fucking
Oh, our
crowd. And
bassist would love that.
oh, dude.
He'd be all over that.
So make sure you guys check them out,
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah.
at the
We're gonna
festival.
be there all
'Cause
weekend too,
hell
so
yeah.
it's I mean it's the biggest show going on in Wisconsin all year round. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
like good on Jamie for bringing that shit back.
Super
Right?
grateful. Super grateful. And
Well,
just like the openness to have like smaller bands, like when we first heard it was coming back, it's like, how do we get on that? Oh, that would be great. They're probably not going to want bands like this. And then like we saw like our friends' bands get on. And it's like, oh, this is sick. This is like a huge opportunity for
Yeah.
like just metal in general.
Well, it is. It's like, and I think Jamie understands, that aspect, or someone in his circle understands that aspect of like, we have to get some of these smaller bands to come out and be a part of this because
Oh yeah.
they're the next generation,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly it.
you know.
Next generation bands.
He talked super high of Casket Robbery last year, which like
That was
shit.
cool.
Yeah. That's
Damn.
that's dope.
I believe
You
it.
know.
Oh,
I mean,
I mean, they deserve it for sure.
Mhm.
yeah. Corey and Megan grind.
They do.
They
Yeah.
are hardworking
Our
people.
set. I hope he catches our set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For you,
think
Josta.
I feel like he tries to catch as many as possible.
Yeah, I would believe that. Because when I
Yeah.
went last year, I'm pretty sure I saw him a couple times out, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, if that is you, like, and you're catching every band, that's awesome. That's awesome."
Well, he does it because he loves the community. You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
yeah,
Which is
him and Trevor Sternad, like,
yeah,
they bought it together. I was like,
yeah,
"Damn, that's so cool." They bought the rights to it.
yeah. I mean,
So
if you're not putting into the community, you're not going to get anything back from it. You know,
exactly,
Oh yeah.
exactly.
you got to keep it going.
All
That
ships
was
rise with the tide.
that's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Um, okay. You said May 10th is the release of the new album.
Yep.
Correct. Friday, May 10th.
And then the week
Okay.
after, the 16th, we are playing Milwaukee Metal Fest.
That's
That'll
going to be
dope.
by like proxy our album release show because like we won't have an opportunity to play a proper album release show.
You
So
should just not release it until you're at the
yeah,
festival, because then it's hey, by the way, this is our album release show. It's the first day it's available at the at the merch booth.
yeah.
Don't
I wish that was like in the car. We've just been sitting at like the thing about all of us is we're incredibly indecisive. So if we don't stick to a concrete plan, nothing will ever get done. So at
Yeah,
this point, it's just like,
but
if we change
that's,
the date, then we're making the exception, which is going to cause us to not put it out there.
we do that sometimes. But Milwaukee Metal Fest will be the first show it's available. That's the first time it's going to be available. So
Yeah.
it's that's the show. That is the show.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys make up little handbills with a
Oh,
QR
yeah.
code that takes it to
Oh
your
yeah,
band camp too. So
Evan's
you
got
can just,
that
Already
unlocked.
working on that.
hell
He's
yeah.
got that unlocked
Yeah.
already.
Because I'm
When
that
I'm
guy at a
not
show.
making music, I'm sitting on Photoshop making things.
Yeah.
Hell
Yep.
yeah. All right. So Milwaukee Metal Fest, you've got a show, you've got a new album. What's the one thing that you want to accomplish this year?
My goal is to just get us out more, grow our fan base, grow our our reach. That's my big goal. Is just really push us to the next level. If we can get some labels looking at us, perfect. If we can get some, we've talked about booking agencies and all that, but I mean, if we can really just grow our reach and get out there more, and really grow our fan base, that's at least that's my personal goals with the band. Next step shit.
All right. Kevin?
My goal, at least as far as like what I imagine for Illusion of Fate for this like next year, essentially, is like playing completely new territories. Just going as far as we possibly can is like first and foremost. But then, like, my personal goal is, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's a fest that like just kind of popped up, Tennessee Metal Devastation Fest.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I personally want to play that just
same.
because like all of the buzz that's coming on around it, if
Dude,
that winds up being something big in like 10 years, like something huge in 10 years, I want to be able to say like I was on one of the first ones.
yeah, I really, really want to play that, and I just love the fact that the church protests it, and I kind
Yeah.
of, I want to play a show like that where the church vehemently protests it. I think it's a small win.
Well, how do you get on it?
Oh, we've
Uh,
submitted. We know we've been talking to the folks that put that on.
yeah.
I know they're fans. They're
It's
big
just
fans of
it's
ours.
a process of hopefully we cut the mustard when it comes to the selection process, because a lot of bands like submit to that, so obviously it's not like a given thing or anything like that. But
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's same as every other fest, submit and pray.
Pretty much.
yeah. I'm sure you'll cut the mustard because I just cut the cheese.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
God. I'm so old. I can't believe I just said that.
That's all right. I appreciate those kind of jokes.
All right. I'm going to cut this short because my work day tomorrow starts at 4 a.m.
I hear
Oh,
you.
rough. I'm
Yeah. I
sorry.
mean, no, it's like I'm my own boss.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
well, there you go.
So,
And
like,
hey, it's Friday.
yeah.
So,
I mean, but when you're your own boss, every day's Friday and
Yeah.
that's a good point. That's a good
every day's
point.
Monday, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's true.
I didn't realize when I quit my job to work for myself that I
That's the
wasn't,
case.
I made my own schedule and it just meant 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Staying completely disciplined to keep afloat. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, so afraid of starvation that you're,
That too.
constant going. Your stress is so high. It's like constant go. I gotta eat. I gotta eat.
If I'm not stressed out, there's a problem. I feel I hear you on that one.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to go for some stressless nights. That's why I go to live shows.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Hell yeah. We promise to put on the best show for you.
hell yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here in a couple of weeks up in Indianapolis. It's going to be
Hell yeah.
fantastic. Again, Hayden, Kevin, thank you very much for spending the evening chatting with me.
Thank you so much for having us.
man.
Hell yeah,
Hey,
dude. Go check
really
out
appreciate
Illusion of Fate, motherfuckers.
Check us
Ah!
out
All right.
Hell
See you
yeah.
guys.
later.